not a very telling. Like some tokens are very bearish and others are just dead.
Yeah.
And now when you go to Bitcoin though, Bitcoin hasn't lost anything. Bitcoin, it's still in the same range it's been in since we broke out. Our lows are the 90,000s, 89,000s, and our highs are all-time highs. Pretty much 106,000.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin hasn't done anything.
Yep.
Bitcoin is still in the same range. It hasn't broken any structure in terms of what it's doing. It hasn't broken below the range low. It's still holding the range low, and it's still holding the range high and rejecting off of it every time. Even if you look at it, if this were to hold, right, because now it has to hold, it has to keep pushing up. It made a higher low than this low back in on January the 13th. Because this low, we hit 89,000. The difference was Bitcoin dominance did not spike the way this one did. So the alts weren't as hurt as this one. But Bitcoin's still relatively bullish, has not lost structure. Of course, short-term bearish, but it hasn't lost long-term structure. If you were to look at a daily candle, right, that's a giant wick, just like this is a giant wick. But if it closes above this trend line, right, and it holds this trend line, it's in a bullish still position because it didn't close below it, meaning there isn't a risk of more downside pressure. We actually have a risk of more upside back to the range highs. Just that the picture doesn't look the same on alts. In no way, shape, or form. If that makes sense.
Nope, totally makes sense. Yeah, it's good that Bitcoin is still holding the range. If anything, it's a good opportunity to get in, but at below 100.
Yeah.
Because part of me is thinking that this trade war with the tariffs might not even last that long.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's just an initial thing of like show of force. It's like
it's a lot of panic selling right now as well.
It's just to remind, I think it's just to remind other countries that the United States still has tariffs in its pocket and could absolutely survive with implementing them.
Yeah. So if you look at this is still pretty bullish. Close above here on the daily time frame, still holding strong. Even on the 4 hour, we're pushing above, right, to re-break that same exact trend that we just lost. Or on the 4 hour, it looks like we just lost it. On the bigger time frame, it doesn't look like that. But we get closes above, we're just going to start pushing back up to that range high. Ideally, if everything cools off and settles down. And if you even look at Sol, on the higher time frame, a daily time frame, we are holding a long-term trend line that's on the uptrend. It's holding it. It broke. It's the same trend line. Wicked up, breaking all-time highs, coming back down. Again, another very large pin bar candle. If it holds this, breaks, closes above, you're still in a bullish position in this time frame. Respectfully.
Yeah.
I would say so, at least. Right? If we're to get closes below this candle, then I would be calling for, lower lows. We're still coming down. But as of right now, it's holding. Could potentially push up, depending on what the market decides to do. So Sol's still looking good. Bitcoin's still looking good. ETH is not. Realistically, ETH is not doing as good as other tokens. It was really hit hard. It lost a lot from where it was at before. And it's currently right now sitting on a support zone. If it can close above on support, we can talk about it potentially going back to the upside. But daily candle closes above any of these trend line support zones, we should be looking good.
ETH has been a poor performer as of late.
In this
So-
market.